welcome back to the mrfilmart channel. I am mrfilmart, aka Steven, and I apologize for my disappearance over the past couple months. It's just been it's been a long couple months. Anyway, I'm back now, and I'm here starting out with House of Dragon. How do I set up this one? How do I set up the enthusiasm for this one? Because even I do not know how enthusiastic I should be. I don't think it's controversial to say that I was not a fan of the way Game of Thrones, the original series, ended. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I really don't. Hopefully well. But who knows? What has me hopeful about this series in of itself is that, one, we know that this is pre-written. Beginning, middle, and end are written. We know how it ends if we want to look into it, unlike the way Game of Thrones played out, which was Benioff and Weiss kind of just like spitballing and throwing things by the wayside. So we know how this begins and ends. George R. R. Martin is also more heavily involved, and I believe that's going to play a bigger role in terms of my enjoyment, because the first couple seasons of Game of Thrones, George R. R. Martin was more involved. He even wrote a few episodes of the show, so hopefully all that comes together to something better. Plus, I saw a behind-the-scenes video where, some shade was kind of thrown. I think it was Sapochnik, the showrunner of this show, who kind of said, we learned from the last show. We learned, aka we learned not how to ruin it. But in terms of the actual story and plot of this show, I am actually very curious. Civil wars are always fascinating in their own way. I think I rambled enough. Instead of me continuing to ramble, why don't I jump into the episode? Let's see how excited I should really be. Alright. It's already starting to feel like old times. I don't know why.
The first century of the Targaryen dynasty came to a close.
Oh boy.
The health of the old king, Jaehaerys, was failing.
There are going to be so many new names to remember. Oh my god.
With 10 adult dragons under its yoke.
That's a lot.
No power in the world could stand against it. The old king called a great council to choose an heir.
Oh my god, is that Harrenhal?
The Prince Viserys Targaryen.
Jaehaerys called the great council to prevent a war being fought over his succession. For he knew the cold truth. The only thing that could tear down the house of the dragon
was itself.
Yeah.
You can't beat dragons unless you have dragons. 172 years before Daenerys. I like that they just cut. That's funny. To the important words. 172 years before Daenerys, just in case you were not clear. The music. We're back to the same music. This is Daenerys' music. Yo, this is gonna be so full of dragons. This is crazy. Remember when it took a whole season just to get a dragon? That's the first 5 minutes. Oh my god, we're back at King's Landing. Yo, if dragons were real, you could not pay me enough to be a dragon keeper. I would freak out. It's crazy, just like the difference of opulence that we're seeing in these quick shots, number one, between the period between now and Game of Thrones, number one, and number two, the difference in opulence on HBO budgets. The first season of Game of Thrones was nothing like this. These first 10 minutes are probably more like expensive than the whole first episode of Game of Thrones.
Someone has to attend you.
You will lie in this bed soon enough, Rhaenyra.
No, that's a lot of pressure.
This discomfort is how we serve the realm.
I'd rather serve as a knight and ride to battle in glory.
Now take a bath. You stink of dragon.
Interesting. I wonder what a dragon smells like.
Wrong end.
Oh boy.
My lords, the growing alliance among the free cities has taken to styling itself the Triarchy.
No, your grace.
Rhaenyra, you're late. King's cupbearer must not be late. Leaves people wanting for cups.
I was visiting mother.
She's a cupbearer?
On Dragonbank?
If those shipping lanes should fall, it will beggar our ports.
The Crown has heard your report, Lord Corlys.
New Tywin.
Before the games are over, my son will be born. And the whole realm will celebrate.
And you know it's gonna be a son because... Ooh.
Gods be good.
I know it's a necklace.
Do you know what it is?
A
Valyrian
necklace?
steel.
Ooh.
Now, you and I both own a small piece of our ancestry.
You're always like this when you're worried.
Like what?
Disagreeable.
A pain in the ass.
You're worried your father is about to overshadow you with a son.
Yeah.
I only worry for my mother.
You aren't worried about your position.
I like this position. It's quite comfortable.
She is being disagreeable. Is that Tommen's window? Is that the window Tommen went out? That rough stuff.
Is it healing?
Can you say yet what it is?
Gross.
We've sent inquiries to the Citadel.
Could you? I know that, like... I know Game of Thrones is fake. I know it's fake, so, like, just go along with me for 2 seconds. But could you imagine, in, like, the medieval times, surviving a doctor? Like, these people were butchers. They had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
It's tepid.
It's as warm as the maesters will allow.
Is Dany the only Targaryen that could, like, walk through fire? I don't know.
Earth is unpleasant enough as it is.
How are they related? I know, I can clearly tell from the hair they're both Targaryens, but what is the,
This is the
connection?
When I took command of the watch, you were stray mongrels. Starving and undisciplined. Now, you're a pack of hounds. You're sated and honed for the hunt. Beginning tonight, King's Landing will learn to fear the color gold.
Is this the precursor to the King's Guard? Because the gold watching the city, I would imagine this is the King's Guard in its inception. Although I don't really like the terrorist activity that they're doing right now. They're just like attacking whomever they want. Oh my god. Oh!
It was an unprecedented roundup of criminals of every ilk. Your brother made a public show of it.
How do we know that they were criminals?
The prince cannot be allowed to act with this kind of unchecked impunity.
Our city should be safe for all its people.
Bullshit. This is like some Law and Order type bullshit.
Law and order.
Oh, there it
The
is.
criminal element should fear the City Watch.
Any further performances like last night's will be answered.
We might just be back into Game of Thrones here. This is crazy.
Queen Emma has begun her labors.
That's crazy. Like, to announce your wife is in labor to, like, everyone like this, like, that's crazy. Okay, we got Baratheon. Hold up there.
I would humbly ask for the favor of the queen who never was.
That's mean. And you wanna be my latex salesman? The bad feeling Daemon's gonna kill this high tower kid. Who came up with jousting? This seems like a very, like, ridiculous sport. Like, is this a sport?
Now, I'm fairly certain I can win these games, Lady Alicent. Having your favor.
Good luck, my prince.
Don't like that. Yeah. Oh, shit.
grows ugly.
Yo, can you just, like, start doing that? How is that entertainment? That's not entertainment, that's slaughter. Are you just gonna let kids watch this?
During a difficult birth, it sometimes becomes necessary for the father to make an impossible choice.
You can save the child.
We must either act now or leave it with the gods.
She doesn't even have a say in the decision. But who is he versing?
They're going to bring the babe out now.
Oh no.
Making the first incision. Please hold it still.
Don't be scared. Prince Daemon Targaryen wishes to continue in a contest of arms.
How is this a fucking game? I don't get it. Yo, they cut open the long way too, not even the other way. Silver linings. Ooh.
Yield.
Yo, that's light. Both the mother and the baby. Oh my god. Dracarys.
Your Grace, this is the last thing any of us wish to discuss at this dark hour, but I consider the matter urgent.
Oh my god.
What matter?
Succession.
That of your succession.
The succession is already set, by precedent and by law.
Shall we say his name?
No one here can know what Daemon would do were he king, but no one can doubt his ambition. An army 2,000 strong.
An army you gave him, Otto. I named Daemon Master of Laws, but you said he was a tyrant. As Master of Coin, you said he was a spendthrift that would beggar the realm. Putting Daemon in command of the City Watch was your solution.
Daemon has ambition, yes, but not for the throne. He lacks the patience for it.
The gods have yet to make a man who lacks the patience for absolute power, Your Grace.
Oh, I like that line. That's a good line.
The king's firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. A girl.
Hey.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter. I will not sit here and suffer crows that come to feast on their corpses.
Yeah, the day of the funeral is not a like that's not the opportune moment to discuss succession.
How is his grace?
Very low. I thought you might go to him.
Don't like it. He's whoring out his daughter.
You might wear one of your mother's dresses.
Oh my god.
But I might come and look in on you, Your Grace. I brought a book. When my mother died, people only ever spoke to me in riddles. All I wanted was for someone to say that they were sorry for what happened to me.
The gods give just as the gods take away.
He toasted Prince Balon,
the king's son,
styling him the heir for a day.
Ah.
Did you say it?
We must all mourn in our own way, Your Grace.
You have no allies at court but me. I have only ever defended you. Yet everything I've given you, you've thrown back in my face.
You've only ever tried to send me away to the Vale, to the City Watch, anywhere but by your side. You're weak, Viserys.
Oh my god.
I have decided to name a new heir.
I'm your heir.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
You are to return to Runestone and your lady wife at once.
He's a weak king, though. Yeah, to quote Tywin, any man who has to say I'm the... I don't know the exact quote, but any man who has to say I'm the king is no true king.
When you look at the dragons, what do you see?
What? You haven't spoken a word to me since Mother's funeral. And now you send your king's guard down...
Answer me.
I suppose I see us. Everyone says Targaryens are closer to gods than to men. But they say that because of our dragons. Without them, we're just like everyone else.
That is true.
I'm sorry, Rhaenyra. I have wasted the years since you were born, wanting for a son.
Aye. Call is Velaryon.
Okay, cool. So it was made public. This isn't a Ned Stark on the deathbed of Robert Baratheon going, Joffrey can't be king.
Our histories. They tell us that Aegon looked across the Blackwater from Dragonstone, saw a rich land ripe for the capture. But ambition alone is not what drove him to conquest. It was a dream. Aegon foresaw the end of the world of men. Just to begin with a terrible winter. Aegon called his dream the Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay.
Rhaenyra Targaryen, Princess of Dragonstone, and heir to the Iron Throne.
So, that was the end of episode 1 of Dances with Dragons. So far, I'm pretty stoked. It seems pretty good. I'm hoping that it can maintain this level of excellence, but who knows? It's moving pretty fast. It's moving really fast, actually, considering that this is only episode 1, and it seems like the line of succession is now in place. I mean, Daemon has been sent away, and he's very pissed off, but for all intents and purposes, everyone pledged their fealty to the Queen, so I don't entirely know where it's gonna go from here, even if I know the ending. Yeah, no spoilers, I won't spoil anything, but I do know who wins the Dance of Dragons. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the rest of the show. Brutal in some points. The attack Daemon waged and was just hacking people apart, that was brutal. And then the C-section, that really, really got me. That was really gross. Really, really gross. Anyway, so far so good. I'm looking forward to continuing the show on a weekly basis. I do like the weekly basis thing more than dumping. I will say that. I've grown weary of the binge. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. So if you like it, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more of me, you can follow me on Instagram at mrfilmart, or if you would like, you can also see some of my drawings. Well, you can see my drawings on Instagram at mrfilmart, and if you like anything you see there, you can go to my Etsy page and purchase some of it. That is the Mr. Film Art shop on Etsy. Link is below. Alright, I will see you next time.